We celebrate tomorrow the 33rd anniversary of our independence. It's a happy occasion that we look back with pride at the blessings of our freedom. It's also a sobering moment for taking a critical look at the gaps in our perceptions and performance so that we can benefit from past mistakes and face the future with confidence. As the largest democracy in the world, we have by and large managed to run our parliamentary system with considerable success, despite the continuing strains. But we have yet to learn the hard way, through trial and error, how to give a matching social dimension to the economic progress made since independence. Though the planning process has become a part and parcel of modern economic growth, we have to contend with the reality that it has so far benefited mainly the upper strata of our society without the fruits of development reaching the poorer sections adequately. The social ferment fermented by growing inequality has led to serious law and order situations, with an increasing tendency to resort to violence to ventilate the slightest grievance. After the uncertainties of last year, there is now a stable single-party government at the centre with a substantial majority in Parliament. However, the stability of a government does not depend on its numerical strength alone, but also on its ability to carry the whole nation with it on all important issues. It requires the capacity to assess and harness the national consensus by cutting across political barriers, rising above party politics, and taking an elevated view of national problems. Success in a parliamentary democracy lies in giving the people a sense of close identification and a feeling of involvement in the functioning of it. The opposition also has a crucial role to play in the working of our democratic system. It has no doubt the right to question the policies and actions of the government. However, a credible distinction has to be kept up between legitimate dissent and denunciation. To establish sound traditions and conventions and learn to respect the basic postulates of our political life. The nation remains tormented by the thought that something is missing in the Indian polity, giving the people a feeling of growing alienation from our socio-economic dispensation. The rising prices and increasing disparities, making the rich much richer and the poor still poorer, are widening the gulf between the few haves thriving on the miseries of the have-nots and the deprived masses left with little hope of any better life in the foreseeable future. The irony of our agriculture surpluses has been that the really needy sections of our people do not have enough money to buy the food grains available. The population explosion that has added enormously to the country's economic burdens and social pressures has led to greater unemployment. No matter what we do to create more work, the heavy backlog of jobless millions will keep on increasing until we are able to revive our rural economy and reorient our approach to development. We are thus passing through a difficult phase which will lead to class conflicts if we do not take timely steps to avert them. The only sensible way out of this predicament is through an orderly social transformation based on a balance of sacrifice to make life more livable for a greater majority of our people below the poverty line.
All India Radio,
The attempt to infuse undue political overtones into what is essentially a human problem has tended to divert attention from the real dimensions of Indian poverty to extraneous agitations. The country is in quest of a more sustainable social equilibrium. I have every hope that we will be able to emerge from this flux with greater faith in our system if we adhere to the Gandhian tenets of tolerance and compassion. When I assumed office as president, I pleaded for a harmonizing touch to heal the old wounds of discord, and I shall continue to exercise my moderating influence to persuade all sections of our society to adopt an equitable and enlightened approach to problems of public welfare. The government has shown great forbearance in handling the agitation, and I want to make an earnest appeal to all concerned to cooperate in finding a reasonable solution without succumbing to emotions. The greatest imperative today is for a halt for such agitations which inflame passions without opening the way for lasting solutions. The future generations will not forgive us if we fail to come to grips with more fundamental issues and dissipate our energies on endless confrontations that have no relevance to the main struggle for the eradication of poverty. Jai Hind.